Did you know that PlayStation made a mobile game sponsored by Coke? I'm a big fan of LittleBigPlanet, and I'm on a hunt to find every game with Sackboy. I'm a big fan, and there's no new games to play. Don't judge me. But I stumbled across something odd. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is a fighting game on PS3 that came out in 2012. It has all the popular PlayStation mascots, and it's actually pretty fun. But I had no idea it had a spin-off called PlayStation All-Stars Island. It's a mobile game that was released for iOS and Android only in Europe in 2013, so 1 year after PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale came out. It's actually still available and playable on older devices. When I found this out, I had to try it. I mean, a mobile game from 2013? What could go wrong? The game stars Kat from Gravity Rush, Cole McGrath from Infamous, Sackboy from LittleBigPlanet, and Nathan Drake from Uncharted. I don't know if they were trying to turn PlayStation All-Stars into a franchise. Maybe this was intended to be the next game in the series. I don't think many people have heard of this game. Have you guys? Was I just not paying attention? Honestly, Sackboy appearing in any game is enough to sell me on it, so there I went, willingly pinning all my hopes and dreams for more Sackboy content on this strange game. When I fired up the game, I was greeted with an intro cutscene. Then a scrolling view of an island with each of the 4 characters shown at a different location. Only Nathan Drake was initially available, and I had to do another download for the rest of the characters. Good old mobile games, tricking you with that small initial install size. When this game came out, the first 3 Uncharted games were out, but not 4. This was just after LittleBigPlanet karting, but before Run Sackboy Run and LBP3. Infamous 1 and 2 were out, but not 3. Gravity Rush was out, but not the sequel. 2013, when all these games seemed so powerful, so full of potential. As a huge Sackboy fan, I was really excited to dive straight into the Sackboy part of the island. Would it be anything like PlayStation All-Stars? What would the gameplay be like? Is this game actually amazing and shouldn't have been forgotten? Okay, that might have been a bit of a stretch. I have to say, since I've been starved of any Sackboy games for so long, it really didn't take much to make me happy. LittleBigPlanet Epic Race! Look how adorable this key art for it is. I've never seen Sackboy in this specific pose before. It looks like there's some coke on him, which that can't be good for his yarn. He's gonna get all sticky. Okay, so we've got like the adorable LittleBigPlanet music that I feel like often would play in like intro videos and stuff for LittleBigPlanet. This looks very LittleBigPlanet karting-esque. The assets and everything really remind me of LittleBigPlanet karting. Sackboy is adorably waving at us, telling us he's ready to go here. I definitely felt like they could have explained all of the gameplay systems a bit better, but it was pretty cool to play a mobile version of LittleBigPlanet karting. This game kind of confused me with how scores and challenges worked, and I felt I had to just figure out a lot for myself without any guidance. It's a great metaphor for adulting, really. What is adding and subtracting time? I don't know. I can't figure that piece out. For some reason, we can pick up Coke on the track, I guess. I guess that's what these other bubbles are. They look a lot like regular LittleBigPlanet score bottles. This game was sponsored by Coke Zero, and there's weird Coke references throughout. Touch the full Coke Zero bottle to launch a special challenge. Taste the possibilities! There's also Coke Zero drops that you can pick up, and if you fill up the bottle of Coke, you get to play a Coke Zero minigame for extra points, which is just a regular minigame with more Coke advertising thrown in. Oh my god, look how cute! It's okay, Sackboy! And then Drake saves him. Ever cute. Okay, so we tilt to move. And I guess Drake is protecting us from death here. Wow, this is like way more score than I had managed to get racing. The Little Big Planet section really impressed me with how LBP inspired it felt. I really enjoyed the Little Big Planet Gardens music, the floaty Little Big Planet physics, and the excellent overall Little Big Planet vibe the level had. I was also delighted to see there were 2 Coke Zero minigames instead of just one, and that's not sarcasm. Oh, this is different! Okay. I like that. That's fun that they have I was like, I feel like I've already seen all there is to see. Maybe we get one of these with each character. After playing for a while, I found the Coke minigames got kinda repetitive and were honestly a bit jarring in the middle of trying not to crash during a race. I actually crashed a few times trying to tap the top corner of the screen to activate them without losing control of my cart. The awkwardness wasn't helped by the strange drifting controls, which require you to select a specific part of the screen while tilting. The game gives you experience towards unlocking more boosters when you finish an attempt, but there's only 2 boosters available, and they're the same for each of the 4 games on the island. You can have 1 free respawn after failing, and make it easier to unlock the Coke challenges. I didn't feel like that added enough replayability, so the gameplay got stale pretty fast. After playing for a while and failing to beat my top score, I decided it was time to move on to a different character's game. I was really happy to have seen anything new with Sackboy in it, but I was starting to feel a little concerned that the game was a bit light on content. To be fair, by today's standards, this game does have a ton of free gameplay without ads for a mobile game. It's built to be replayable, but without feeling hyper-monetized, so that part is nice. Nowadays, I feel like I can play a free game for about 30 seconds without having to watch a 30-second unskippable full-screen ad, which then forces me to stare at the game page for another 5 seconds before the little X to close it comes up. It's crazy how quickly free mobile games have become centered around microtransactions and ads, because this game is only 12 years old. I guess Coke was just happy to have their product placement. The simpler times, when product placement was enough. The next section I tried out was Uncharted: Drake's Pursuit. Nathan Drake has been captured, help him escape through the jungle. Oh my god, he's like tied up! It's basically an endless runner, and I enjoyed how different the vibes of this game felt and how much the music and aesthetic felt like Uncharted. The first Coke Zero minigame in this one had Ratchet and Clank, which was a nice surprise since they weren't advertised anywhere else. The other minigame had Cat from Gravity Rush, and I liked that they had some gravity manipulation so the game felt inspired by Gravity Rush. Another cool thing in the Uncharted game is the platforming sections, although the controls are a bit picky. It also had parts where you balance on a log, which at least had a little variety. Overall, I found this one easier than the Little Big Planet game, with less of a sense of speed. I also found it felt inspired by Temple Run and felt pretty generic. The only real challenge with this one is that you can only take 1 hit. Even though I love Uncharted, I think this game might be the weakest of the bunch. I was confused for a while trying to understand the point of the challenges in the game until I found a section for them on the main menu. This seemed like a strange choice since I wanted to check them when I was playing the games, so I assumed they'd be there. I initially hoped the challenges would unlock more gameplay, but I was giving the game too much credit. I think they're basically just for bragging rights, as the game also had built-in Facebook sharing features. Remember when everyone posted everything on Facebook? The next game I tried out was Infamous Survival. I've never played Infamous, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I got a nice jump scare on the main menu. Oh wow, that character model does not look good. I was disappointed to see it looked like another endless runner, but the gameplay actually did feel pretty different. You tap the screen to throw grenades, and you can also pick up and throw objects. You also have to stop missiles from hitting you. This one was higher action and more difficult than the Uncharted one. I appreciated with this one that it felt like they were trying to do something unique in this early era of mobile games that was filled with endless runners. I have to say though, those aliens screaming got old pretty fast. The first minigame in this one had Sackboy, which I was irrationally excited about. The minigame has Sackboy! Yay! Touch targets to place stickers on them. Okay. Aw, this is cute! Look, Sackboy's helping us out. Look at the little guy. Oh, and if you get Sackboys, you get bonus points. Okay, this is adorable. I love that. The infamous one is worth it for the Sackboy minigame. Oh, look at him dancing! He's so happy! Sackboy, I love you. I figured this would be the last time I'd see him since I hadn't seen any repeat appearances of any other characters yet. Or was it? The other minigame had Ratchet and Clank again. However, it was much simpler gameplay-wise, and you just drag Ratchet around. Eh. This game definitely felt more exciting than the others, and as you get further, the screen gets very busy. There's a lot to stay on top of. I can't comment on how accurate to Infamous this one was, but the aesthetic was cool, and I enjoyed that they tried to do something different. On to the final game, Gravity Rush Infinite Skies. This one definitely had a steeper learning curve for me. Okay, swipe to change gravity. Okay. Do I... Oh, I can swipe to... Oh my goodness, I can go those ways too. If you jump into the Nevi's arms, it's game over. Hit the red chorus for Coke Zero drops. Okay. I don't understand. You can swipe to move Cat around, but I struggled to wrap my head around it for some reason, and I kept dying over awkward swipes. Okay, so that's how you die. Okay, so these things I haven't been able to figure out. Okay, I think one thing you have to go, like, opposite to their arms. But then... Okay, here we go. I got this. I sort of understand. Okay, I'm having a hard time with the constant directional changes. Oh, man. Those open walls get me for some reason. I was pleasantly surprised by the first minigame. Oh, I have a Coke Zero thing! Sackboy! Yay! Oh my god, look! She's a sack girl! Oh, this is so cute! Oh, this one looks so much like LittleBigPlanet! I love it! Oh, the crossover minigames are so fun! Grab 100 crystals as Sack Girl. So they're calling it Sack Girl. That's super cute. I like that Sack Girl got to make an appearance. Thank you, game, for giving me one more unexpected dose of Sackboy. Knowing that there was no way it could top the last one, I still made sure I played enough to see the final minigame. I also wanted to see Sackboy again. The characters in the final minigame were a nice surprise, too. Jak and Daxter, that's the first time we've seen them! Tap and hold. Okay, this is like Flappy Bird. I accidentally cut off the instructions, but it looks like it's just Flappy Bird, or... There were games before Flappy Bird that had this mechanic, but I feel like everybody... Like, there was like an old helicopter game that had this. As much as I was excited to see them, it did get me thinking about how disappointing it was that they took the time to animate Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter, and they didn't make their own full games on the island. PS3 kind of feels like the end of the mascot era for PlayStation. There used to be so many PlayStation characters, and now they're moving away from exclusive games. I understand why it's changing, and moving away from platform dependence and game exclusivity can be a good thing, but I do feel really nostalgic for this time. Maybe Astrobot will change things for console mascots, we'll see. Honestly, I'm just hoping we get more Sackboy stuff. I definitely found the Gravity Rush game the hardest. I'm sure the gravity changing mechanics were a nice nod to Gravity Rush. I haven't played it yet. It's on my backlog. I'm sure I'll get to it eventually. I liked that the environment looked really different from the other levels. I played this one for quite a while because I thought the Sack Girl minigame was really cute and I wanted to play it a few times. Yes! Here we go. I just love, there's so many LittleBigPlanet looking assets like the trees and the clouds and like she is a customized Sack Girl. It's just adorable. I love this. I like that Sackboy was included in so many mini-games. See, Sackboy is a beloved character. Don't let him die, PlayStation. I found on the main menu a section that said new games are coming soon to PlayStation All-Stars Island. so it seems like they intended to add more content to this. I really wish they would have finished the game, even if it's not perfect. It would have been cool to see some other PlayStation characters get games in here. I'm not sure why this game didn't get a wider release outside of Europe, and it was abandoned so soon after launching. It feels like they didn't even give it a chance. Overall, the Little Big Planet game was definitely my favorite. I know I'm biased, but it matched the gameplay of Little Big Planet karting pretty well, and it was so cool to see it in a different format. I think Little Big Planet karting is one of the best LBP games, and it didn't get much attention, so this was a really fun era to have a mobile game from. It was also unique in that it was a race against the clock, and you could play for longer even if you died. The other ones were closer to endless runners with a PlayStation coat of paint. And Coke spilled on that, with a big measure of repetitiveness. Okay, this analogy has gone on too long. I also really enjoy character crossovers, even when they're not as good. But it's always so much fun seeing beloved universes overlap and seeing how they mash up the characters and environments. Maybe because it's kind of cheesy, we just don't see it much these days, when it was much more common on older consoles. Game developers, take note. Bring them back. Especially anything with Sackboy. Overall, I really enjoyed trying this game out, even though it feels very much like an older mobile game. I enjoyed all the characters, and there was a decent variety of gameplay considering how limited phones were back then. I'm also always happy to see anything with Sackboy. There's actually quite a few games with them, and now I'm one step closer to seeing it all. I just want to see everything. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed checking out this game with me. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe or give it a like. It really helps me out, and I will see you all next time.